Nicole, thank you so much for doing this. I know your time is so valuable. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Tell us about your time in the United States Navy.
Oh boy, I was in the Navy for 7 years. I was stationed in Hawaii for 4, and I was stationed in Lemoore, California for 3. I've been deployed twice, and I've been to Italy and Spain, Africa, and Japan. So it was a great adventure, but I knew it was time to go. So, but I really enjoyed it. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Your husband still serving our country?
Yes, he actually just returned from deployment on Monday.
That's great. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, you guys.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, you got first place in your class at the NPC Fresno Classic a few weeks ago. What was this prep like?
This prep was it was actually a lot of fun. It was fun, but it was challenging, and I really enjoyed that. I love a challenge. Um, I did 10-week prep. I didn't do a full 12. I was still at 12 weeks. I wasn't sure if I wanted to compete, and I was kind of unsure. I wanted to put a little more muscle on, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens. And I completely fell in love with the process. It was just beyond what I expected, and I can't wait for the next one. So.
What about during prejudging? Did you know you were going to get first and second, or did they move you around a lot? Did you have any idea before finals?
Well, for novice, I knew I was going to take first. They put me straight front and center as soon as we got on stage. So I was like, okay, I got that one for sure. For open, I was a little unsure. They put me at second or third, I believe, the first time they lined us up. And then they put me to the center. So I was like, okay, feel a little better. So if I get first or second, it's good. Either way, it's nationally qualified. So I was like, okay, we're all right. But I was still very happy about my novice placement regardless. And then sure enough at finals, took two first place trophies, and I was over the moon.
Well, what was it like posing in an overall?
Posing in overall, it's kind of funny because we didn't really prep for overall posing. We didn't really anticipate this. So, not that we didn't believe in me. It was just we were focused on the small classes, and you can feel the heat in overall posing for sure. Everybody's kind of like fighting for their space and wants to stick out and be proud and show off what they worked for, and you can feel it. There's a lot more tension and heat, but yeah, it was intense.
I know that on stage bikinis don't flex their biceps, but you got some guns.
Yeah, I got some. Yeah. um, that was one thing we were trying to kind of like downplay a little, especially with my posing. My shoulders naturally were flexed, so there was no. We were just trying to kind of cover it up a little. So my last 3 weeks of prep, I maybe trained arms or upper body like once. Everything else was lower body. Um, yeah, I naturally have a really strong, genetically, upper body is strong for me. So, but I've contemplated going into figure physique, but as of right now, I'm gonna stick with bikini.
The posing on stage, is it instinct for you now?
Now it is. Now it is. So I'll even be in the gym now, and it just comes naturally. At first, it just didn't make sense. It wasn't comfortable, and it was tricky to move your body a certain way. And I kind of blame it on my military background because of our facing movements. So it's very similar to that. With the facing movements in the military, your feet kind of stay still. And with this posing, my feet had to move a little more. So I kind of had a hard time disconnecting the two. So once I made that connection, I was like, okay, this is so much easier. I was overthinking it way too much.
It seems like you're someone who, when you get on stage, I don't think you'd be nervous at all.
Oh, really? Oh, I was pretty nervous. I've had a few people say that I looked extremely natural, and I was like, well, I was freaking out on the inside. But being on stage was just, it's weird how comfortable I got once I was up there, and it just kind of flowed. And it didn't even feel like I was standing in front of all those people in a small itty bitty bikini.
Did your husband get to watch you in person on stage?
He did not. No. This was my first one, so the first time he'll see me on stage is going to be my next one.
That's cool. That's awesome. Is it really true that your mom used to call you Bony Butt?
It's true. Yeah, it's very, very true. I was younger, and my family hated when I would try and sit on their laps because my butt was so bony. And now I'm like, hey, that's not the case anymore, guys. But yeah, she definitely did.
What about kind of a random question? The tattoo on your left hip, what does that say?
It says, "Not all those who wander are lost," and it has a compass. I'm very much of an adventurer. I like to kind of go my own way, take my own trail, and that saying has a lot of meaning to me. So,
good for you. Any more shows this summer for you?
Not this summer. We're going to be kind of putting on some masks for the next about 2.5 months, and then we'll start a prep to compete in San Francisco in October, and then nationals in November. So, pretty excited about that.
When you were in prep, are your workouts pretty grueling?
They were pretty grueling, but like I said earlier, I love a challenge. So I was so excited to just get my ass kicked. It was great. But there were so many days where I would be like in the squat rack and I would just be mentally and physically exhausted, and I would just tear up just from pure exhaustion. But those were the days that really mattered. That's where you really found your grit, and I really found what you're truly made of. Those were those days, and I'm so thankful for that. And it really brings out your true strength and power. So,
was the Fresno Classic your first show?
It was my first show.
So for first-time competitors, what would you say to them? Any advice?
Enjoy yourself. Have fun on stage, because I mean, it was beyond what I expected, and it was just great meeting other competitors and other athletes, and being in a room full of people that enjoyed the same thing you did is just, it just fills your bucket, you know what I mean? And enjoy the process. Yeah, it's hard. It really is exhausting, but it's so worth it in the end. It is so beyond worth it in the end. And just the whole process from like show day and getting into the hotel and getting your tan and relaxing and carving up, that was like the best part. But it's just enjoy the process, because it's not everybody can do it, and if you make it to stage, it's something to be proud of.
Well, Nicole, last question for you. For people who are not competing, motivation, eating clean, working out, what would you say to them?
Definitely, I listen to motivational videos a lot, so that really pulled me. I mean, I'm not perfect. I have my low motivational days. Listening to some motivational videos and kind of looking up some motivational quotes, positive affirmations. That's a good place to start, because it all starts within you. You really have to dig down deep and want it and want to change. And I found those help me tremendously. And like when it comes to eating clean, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Find simple recipes like on Pinterest and stuff. You don't have to go extravagant. I mean, we're bodybuilders. We do rice, chicken, and and veggies and all that. But just keep it simple. Don't overthink it. And I mean, have a goal in mind, and just remember, like, baby steps. It doesn't all like happen at night. It's a journey, a good fun journey.
Well, it's so much fun to talk to you, Nicole. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your husband's service. One more flex before we go?
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.